In the United States alone in 2024, research shows that 48 to 60% of the American workforce is dealing with burnout. And women historically have experienced burnout in greater numbers and burnout more quickly than men, both at work and at home. And the reason for that is not because women are weak or because they're less capable. It's because historically we push ourselves twice as hard. We're twice as hard on ourselves. And we expect ourselves to live up to every role and fulfill everything with unprecedented expectations. Now that was me. In 2014, on paper, I had it all together. I have a master's degree and I had created a 16-year career in academia, serving in leadership positions, helping to develop. I was a pioneer in an online learning program and went from 3 core pioneering instructors to a program that now services students worldwide. I help train and lead both instructors and students in reaching their highest potential and finding their fulfillment in life. Now, even though I had my degree, I had a 16-year career, I had a husband, 2.5 kids, a dog, and a house with a white vinyl fence, I reached a point that a lot of people call the midlife slump. In my relationship, there were a lot of dynamics that were rough and that were wearing on us, but I just told myself it's normal. Everyone hits rough patches. If we just push through, we'll get through it. Well, the same thing happened in my career. Although I had been skilled at reaching goals and climbing ladders, there comes a point in any profession, in any organization, where there is only so many ladders to climb. And it's easy to reach a plateau. Well, human beings are evolutionary creatures. We're not meant to be stagnant. And so even though I had a career that I loved, because it wasn't progressing in the way that it had when I was younger and things were new and energetic and moving at a faster pace, things had slowed down and I had gotten to where I felt like things were sluggish. And again, I just decided if you just push through and do more, you'll get through it. Well, what I found out the hard way is when you try to push through burnout, you tend to burn out faster. And in 2015, everything hit the fan. My ex came forward with a disclosure of addiction that had lasted throughout my marriage. Now, as I said, I was an academic. I was intellectual. I knew to trust my head. I trusted what I could see, touch, taste, feel, and how I could have lived for 12 years with something that had completely gone underneath the radar that I hadn't recognized at all. And that was at the root of a lot of the frustrations that we've been experiencing in our marriage. I felt blindsided. At the same time, I gave birth to my 3rd son. With the stress of going through counseling, trying to navigate marital challenges, I had spent the last portion of that pregnancy on bed rest. 2 months after my son was born, I was on the phone with a friend talking about how I was excited to get back to life. Things seemed like they were getting better with my marriage. I'd given birth to my son and I was ready for a new birth. Well, as I was on the phone with her, the right side of my body went numb. They initially thought I was having a stroke, rushed me to the emergency room, where I was told that there was nothing wrong with me. It was probably an atypical migraine and that it would go away. Well, it didn't go away. And that led to a period where I spent a year on a bed in my living room watching other people take care of my kids while I was taken to 3 to 5 doctor's appointments a week trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Just like in my marriage where I had felt like there was something off or something was wrong. Every time I went to my ex, I was told there's nothing wrong. It's all in your head. It's just you. Going to doctors and knowing that my body was not responding normally. I couldn't sit or stand for long periods of time. My leg would go out on me and I couldn't even hold my infant son because I didn't know if my arms would support him. And doctors told me there was nothing wrong. We can't find anything in the tests. It will go away. In that period, which I now call my rebranding period, I had everything that defined me pulled out from me what seemed overnight. My health, my marriage, and my career were gone. And in that point, I was ready to redefine my life. Only this time, I wanted to define it by things that could not disappear. With my health conditions, as I started to get diagnoses that included the words rare, chronic, progressive, and incurable, I realized that there were no guarantees to my quality of life or what my physical ability would look like. Without a spouse and insurance, without a career, I had to figure out how, as a chronically ill single mom, I was going to provide for 3 kids. And I had to recreate my career from scratch. But as I wanted to redefine myself, I needed it to be on something that could not be pulled away overnight. So it wasn't going to be defined on my physical ability, on my resume, or on anything that could change. And as we know, life is change. Anything can change in a heartbeat. But who you are at your core is what can guide you through any of those changes that life could bring. What I found is that your personal brand, who you are and how you show up in the world, is what can help you find the resilience to navigate anything that life can throw at you. In the professional world, we're taught that the most successful brands are those that people know, like, and trust. That's what we buy. We buy from brands that seem trustworthy, that we think will last. Well, your personal brand follows those same principles. Success in all areas of life come as you know yourself, trust yourself, and come to love yourself. That is the foundation of a powerful personal brand, and that is the foundation of your signature style. So what do you need to come to know in yourself? Well, knowing your resume, knowing your skill set, knowing your strengths are all great and good, but knowing who you are lies below that. Knowing your core values will provide you the guiding north of everything that is aligned for you in life. Knowing your mission statement and your purpose can help you find the path that is right for you. It can help you stay in situations and help you make choices that are aligned with who you are. And knowing your product, knowing who you are at your core, no matter what life throws at you, you have the skills and the talents and the tenacity to navigate any challenge that comes your way. Once you know yourself, learning to trust your gut and not just your intellect will guide you on that path with 99% accuracy. Living with gaslighting in my marriage and experiencing what I term medical gaslighting from well-intentioned medical providers who did not understand my symptoms and the complexity of what I was experiencing helped me learn to trust my gut. I knew when things were off in my relationships, whether it's in a relationship at work, my relationship with my kids, and yes, in my marriage relationship. My gut knew that something was off. Even if I didn't know what was off, that guiding instinct let me know what was right for me. The same thing applied to medical science. When doctors would come saying, let's try something new because they didn't understand my symptoms, oftentimes they would try to prescribe medicines or procedures that when my gut felt off, I quickly learned that if I ignored that, oftentimes things would get worse. Learning to trust my gut helped me navigate that to where today I am a walking miracle. According to science, I should be in a wheelchair and a neck brace, and I should not be able to be a single parent to my 3 children. Yet today, a year ago, I walked off the TEDx stage, and today I continue to serve and teach about resilience and about learning to trust your gut and level up. Even if you know yourself and trust yourself, that third piece of your personal brand is essential. to love and respect yourself enough to know what is right for you, to know and hold boundaries for yourself, and to know and trust the path that is right for you will help you learn to love yourself. I love to talk about it as any other relationship. That when you have a solid relationship with yourself, when you know yourself, trust yourself, and love yourself, and when you live your personal brand consistently in all areas of your life, not only can you overcome burnout, you can banish burnout and learn to live life with your signature style. And when you do that, you have more of yourself to give because life is too short not to live it 100%. Thank you.